really is quite a simple fly to tie, and it can be a very productive pattern or style to tie. Just have to change the colours. Now you can tie it like I've been doing here. I've been tying it in a straight hook without CDC. In that case, that one had. This one has just the dubbing in the front. And again, it's another good style, a good pattern. So, and you can go a stage further. You can add flash in the wing or the thorax, like this one here. This one's got a bit of flash at the top. Now, it's entirely up to yourself where you do that. I'm just going to do the kind of basic one, just to give you an idea. This is a size 14 barbless hook. It's a curved style hook. To weight the fly, I'm going to use some copper wire. Now you could use lead, it's entirely up to yourself. Now I'm going to start just basically in line with the point of the hook and wind down. Now this is a small copper wire. Now I'm going to remove the waste piece and carry on down to that point there, and then start to work my way back up. Basically putting some weight on the fly. You would be surprised, the wire does add a nice bit of weight to the fly. Now as you can see, I've come up with another 4 or 5 turns just onto the hook itself, just to taper it off. Now what I'm going to do is seal it with some resin, a UV resin. Just got a wee drop on at the top, and then using my dubbing needle I'm going to just apply it all the way around. Just takes away the lumps and bumps and tidies things up a wee bit. And again you can get it to taper towards the back and onto the hook. Then once you're happy, you can set the resin. Now I would say 14s and 16s are very good. Bigger sizes, I mean I have used the bigger sizes, but I have found the smaller sizes working better for me. It depends on who you are in the world. Everyone's got their own hatches of caddis that comes off. So anyway, now we've got this ready. We've got thread. I'm going to use a uni thread. It's just an 8/0 and light Cahill. Start the thread at the eye, and then I'm going to use the waste piece of thread basically to stop the thread slipping. Controlling each turn as it winds down. By the way, how tight I'm holding the waste piece of thread to this point, and then I remove it, and that should do it. Now for the body, the body's really good. This is a peacock eye dyed yellow. It's the eye, and if I turn it around you'll see the yellow in the quills. Now what I've done, this is basically put it into some bleach, and I've taken away most of the fine fibres, the herl. And when you're bleaching this or removing the herl, you'll find the tips go first, the herl comes away, and as it goes in towards the eye it's a bit more denser at this point. It takes a wee bit longer to remove these, but I take it out of that and wash it. And as you see, you get a kind of nice mix of the bare fibre and as it comes up some herl, and that gives you a nice shape, a nice body profile, which I like. Just remove one from the eye itself. Now you want the herls towards the back, so when you're winding up, the natural curve of the fibre should go towards the back. So what I do is basically tie it in with the herl at the bottom. And as I twist that round, that should be the leading edge of the herl. Now, it's just the way when you wind on something that naturally will twist that way. It does for me anyway. So then you just take your thread all the way up and break this off. Now as you realise this is not a strong fibre, so you have to protect it. And what I do is just wind it over, fine layer of super glue. And this is Loctite super glue, and this is the easy brush version. It's important that you do get some of this at the beginning of the fly or the body. And as I say, as you bring this up and round, you'll find the herl is leading, meaning at the front. You have them quite close touching all the way up at this point. You can see it's no fibres, and as you get to this point the herl starts to come. And you just take your time, allowing it to stick. And as you see the body, you get really nice. At this point here. Even if you're a turn too much, don't worry. Because you can come back with the thread and tidy up. But I'm going to carry on down towards the eye and then remove. And work my way back down, ready to tie in what my wing buds is going to be. And it's what it is this is I've got plenty of these. These are split jungle cock eyes. This is not badly split. It's a single split practically right down the centre. And I use them for doing saving a bit of money by having a right and a left side and eye for any trout fly, big fly or salmon fly even. But for wing buds, these work really well. You don't have to use a jungle cock. It's entirely up to yourself. Now, while I'm down here, what I'd encourage you is not to touch the body until you feel the super glue is dry. And you see the body you get. It's a very natural looking body. Now, what I'm going to do here is just pull back the fibres I don't want in the jungle cock. The black area is a very fine felt type fibre, and what it is, meaning it ties in much easier. If you tie on the glossy part of the eye, it can be quite slippy. So now what I'm going to do is encourage these apart and set them on the top so that these form down the side, and I come round with a couple of loose turns of thread just to see how they're sitting. Now obviously want them to sit lower or below the body, so what I'm doing is going to drop them with a pair of tweezers. Just come in here just to get them how you want them to be. At this point, as I say, it's just loose turns. Looking at your length, checking your length, just getting the length that you like. If you feel they're a wee tad long, you can always pull them a wee bit, pull that eye, and that'll bring them in. To me, that's just a wee bit better. Just check both sides. Slightly come down on this side. And so say, once you're happy, then you can tighten up. There we go. Throw away the excess. Now what I would recommend is, it's worthwhile doing this. This is some super glue, it's just a wee touch onto the thread. And then wind over the remaining part of the jungle cock and then come back up. And then that there basically secures them well in. Never going to move. For the legs, I'm just going to use CDC plume. This is a very small pleat CDC. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to bring it over as like a thorax cover, and when I'm bringing it over I'm going to form the legs. So what I'm going to do is catch in at this point on the top, trim away the excess, the full length of the body, or the thorax. Make sure it's tied in. And then get some dubbing. Now I like a fox squirrel dubbing, and it's a natural dubbing, this one here. It's Wopsies and it's a natural fur, and the one I like is the fox squirrel. You can see it's highlighted with the black dot. It's just like a good packet of hare's dubbing, hare's ear dubbing. It's very like it. It's got a nice colour. It's got the colour I like. Now they mix the guard hair and the underfur together, so it gives you impressions of legs as well. And then we just lightly dub it onto the thread. Don't want it too heavy. And you just wind on, twisting. You can come slightly over yourself if you feel it's going to slip. Let's say over the last turn. Keep it reasonably thin. Now I'm just going to, what I'm going to do here is just come up again and then come back down. Just make sure you're catching it in with a turn of the thread. Just watch your head at this point. Now that, be quick look to see what that looks like. That's fine. Okay, always keeping the thread tight. Now a wee half hitch here. This stops the thread bouncing off when you're doing something. There we are, especially when I'm going to do this CDC. Now, I'm going to encourage some of the dubbing down either side with some Velcro. Just making a space for the CDC coming over. All you do is pull it over. Then I'm going to pull some of these fibres back. Let me show you. Just draw them back. Come up with a turn of thread. And you can tighten up. And then to secure that in, just draw it back. Again, just watch what you're doing. Always keep the thread tight. Trim this away. There we are. Now, the fibres on that look long, but we can... Basically, what you can do is just trim these back where you're breaking them. Just use your nail. Don't cut them with the scissors. Want a nice flow into your fly. These swim extremely well. Then you could add some, say, horns on, which is a nice thing to do. And just a matter of finding the feather though. I'll show you. There we are. This is some bronze mallard dyed. It's a brown olive. We take two of the fibres, just bring them out. Just use your fingers to separate them like that. And then once they're lined up, you can tear them away from the feather. Length, not too long. Down either side. Just take your time. You fold it back. Form a nice head. Keeping the thread tight at this point. Then we can come in and wet finish. When I'm wet finishing, I'm usually forming the head as well at the same time. Pull it tight. Trim away your thread. Here there's the waste pieces of the fibres for the horns. Tie them away. Now you can see how the horns are curving away from the fly. You can use your nail, bring them in. Either side, see like that. And then you can get them a wee bit closer. You can just... Basically what I do is I take this forward and then press. And that creases it up here. And what it does is draws the fibres in the side. Like that. And I'll tell you, once this is in the water it just looks absolutely just... You think it was a real fly. And there we are. Just going to bring these wing wedge down slightly. See, it's a simple pattern. It's got a lot of movement in it. It's great fun to tie it, enjoy the tying as much, and then we can come in with the varnish. All the way around. And there we go. A wee bit of wire here, so this will clean the eye out even better. Any wee scrap bits, pieces of wire or even feather, you can use the wire to... Right. And there we go.